I hear people say all the time, well, that's just my nature, or that's just his nature, or that's just her nature. And really, it just not real. We learn everything as human beings. Like, we might come in with some predispositions to things, but even those predispositions will not be activated unless we're exposed to the right conditions or patternings to model it for us. And so you picked that up. And anything that you picked up, no matter when, no matter how long ago, or no matter how tightly you've been holding up until now, you have the capacity to put it down. And, it's the same thing about wanting to choose and change our beliefs. We absolutely can change our behaviors and what we consider part of our personality or identity. It's all fluid, it's all plastic. It's not, it's the same kind of thing, like simple but not easy to change some of these things. But the more you get in alignment with what you want instead and see your capacity for having that, the easier it does become to access it. But it does take practice, and it takes that awareness of, and for most of us, like doing this work, usually, coming into this work, we had to get to a point of desperation. Where it was like, I've tried everything else and I can't keep doing what I'm doing. So I'm here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to give it a shot. And the same is true for any of those things. It's like, I've been, up until now, I have been a total perfectionist, and that was a big one for me. And it was not serving me. It was tearing me apart because you can't ever get to it. We have this reckoning, especially with perfectionism and even the people pleasing, where at some point we have to realize it's not possible. It's not real. Perfect. It doesn't exist. And in fact, what I had realized for myself, and what was so empowering for me, was to realize that our imperfections, the imperfection of things and people in this world is what makes us human. It is good. It's good things to be imperfect. And so that took practice for me to step out of that, and it absolutely still rears its ugly little head sometimes. But I saw the benefits of changing myself for that purpose, so far outweighed what I had been carrying around and dealing with for so long, that, eventually we get to that tipping point. And that's where we want to get to. It's like, get ourselves to the tipping point. So, I think that's a big part of it, is just keeping that flexibility in mind, letting yourself know that you can change anything, anytime, about yourself in particular. And it just takes reminders, and it takes practice to make it happen. Look for what you want instead. It's like, if I don't want to feel pressured towards perfectionism or people pleasing, whatever the thing is, what would I choose instead? How do I want to feel when I'm, creating something and it's not perfect? How do I want to feel when I'm dealing with someone who is clearly unsettled and, and I feel this urge to please them or fix something or something? How would I prefer to respond?